Out of 37 million YouTube channels, you chose this weird boy as your entertainment. This is News! G'day and welcome to News. Today we're covering an article from the BBC that states celebrities in Australia anger stranded citizens over double standard. Now, it says here, it started with Zac Efron. Then, Mark Wahlberg flew over, Matt Damon jetted in, and dozens of other celebrities followed, all to set up temporary homes in Australia. More recently, Julia Roberts touched down. She's due to film a movie here with George Clooney later this year, one aptly titled Ticket to Paradise. Because amid the pandemic, it does appear that half of Hollywood has fled to Australia, viewing it as a COVID-free idyll. Life is good in a country that's largely eliminated the virus. People are freely enjoying beaches, bars and nightclubs. Most of the famous arrivals are here to work. Australia's government has lured over productions like the next Thor film with tax breaks. It's not really surprising, honestly. There are rich people that want to keep all their money, and the tax breaks are why they filmed in Georgia in the first place, so coming down to Australia is not really surprising. That's led to a bonanza of celebrity sightings, particularly in Sydney. There's Idris Elba showing up at a concert stage, Natalie Portman buying groceries at Bondi, Chris Pratt partying in a hotel, and Efron lunching at a Korean barbecue at a restaurant in Chinatown. The visitor book also includes all these other people that don't really matter when it comes down to it. Oh look, Tom Hanks. I'm glad to see that Australia allows the pedophiles down under. That's wonderful. They're calling it Aussiewood, one local entertainment reporter told the BBC. Oh, that's wonderful. I'm glad that you celebrities are coming down and having a good time. Go swimming in the Brisbane River or, the Fitzroy. I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun there. Not everyone is pleased. Surprise. 1 year on since Australia shut its borders, there are still nearly 40,000 Australians stranded overseas. Many say they've effectively been blocked from returning home. One group has lodged a human rights complaint with the United Nations. No other country has impeded the return of their own citizens in this way, Sabrina Taisha, who arrived home from the UK last month, says. So why is this happening? Let's go over some stuff, alright? Imposed the travel cap, as you can see in the article, it says right there, travel cap. But it says, Australia unlikely to fully open borders. Now, here's the important part, alright? Flights from the UK to Australia can cost anywhere from 3,000 Roo dollars to 15,000 Roo dollars, forcing many people to draw on savings and even pension funds. And then there's a mandatory hotel quarantine fee of another 3,000 Roo dollars per person. Now, as you can see, this is a little expensive for your average citizen, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is exactly why people aren't coming home. I mean, not exactly fair. All these celebrities can afford to do this because, guess what? They're rich as balls. But, I'd like to be able to go down to the Billabong with Jimmy, but, he's stuck in Thailand with the femboys. So, why don't you boys actually do something to get him home? That's what I thought. And then there's Susan. I mean, shit, Susie's stuck in America. I mean, with Joe Biden as the president. God, can't imagine how she's doing. Finding a pre-pandemic airfare is rare. Even with a ticket, you can be bumped off or an oversold flight. Here is what I can conclusively tell you after 6 months. There is no system, says Miss Tiasha. I don't know. But, I mean, there is no system. They want the rich people to come in and they want all of the poor people to stay back. They're like, hey, you poor people, why don't you just go on, enjoy some other person's country? It's because the Australian government is probably in bed with the CCP. Not going to lie. The government says it's organised more than 100 reparation flights, including 20 this year. Super. Now, let's see, 20 this year, that just leaves, 39,980 people that actually need to get back in without you people raping them on rates and charging them all this money just to get back in the country. I mean, they live there. They're citizens. Why are you letting Natalie Portman and all of these butt-fucking pieces of garbage come back into the country, but not letting your own citizens come in? I mean, honestly, this is like tyrannical bullshit. It started out as a prison colony, and now it's a bleeding resort for these rich pedophiles to come on over and just do whatever the damn well they please. Give me a break. Crikey. This dumbasses. But with tens of thousands of Australians still unable to get home, anger over the lack of government support has grown. No kidding. I mean, why would you support a government that would rather have you die in some other country than come home at any time? But, let's bring Tom Hanks over so he can diddle the little kids. People are driving me nuts. Wow, Margaret and David Sparks are a couple in the 70s who had been holidaying in the UK when the pandemic hit. They were trapped for almost a year. A year, because they can... I mean, look at these two people. Do they seem like they should be trapped overseas for a year? What exactly is going on? Huh? Australia's just falling apart. You people are just ridiculous. Debate over rights. Yeah, let's read this section. Some believe that government's policy is violating their human rights. How about that? International laws dictate that citizens have a right to return. It's a principle most commonly invoked in refugee cases. Well, they're technically refugees from China. China's assault on the entire world. So, I mean, if you want to get down to brass tacks, they could, honestly, this stands up. Idiots. But experts warn that not much can be done without similar guarantee in Australian law. That's not surprising because guess what? Australia doesn't care about the people. It never has. That's why it started out as a bloody prison state, and now everybody's still a prison state, but you can't come in. Unless you're rich. It's a bleeding resort. Different treatment for the rich. Because we've never seen that before, right? Never seen that before. Still, critics argue the government has adopted more flexible policies for A-listers. You're not kidding. The government halved the travel cap in January, citing the threat of the UK variant. But days later, it allowed more than 1,700 tennis players, staff, and others tied to the Australian Open. I wonder where Australia's loyalties lie. Oh, that's right. Money, power, and looking good. Sweet. So glad they give a shit about the average bloke down there. It's great. Celebrities are in their private mansion, quarantine a luxurious ranch. These people drive me bloody nuts. Lord Sugar flew in last July for a TV show. There's lots of support for tennis players and celebrities, 0% support for people on our side. I've just got to say, we're going to see this more and more from all kinds of governments, and the fact that it's happened down in Australia doesn't really surprise me, because, they are a bit of a... Their government, like every other government, United States, China, doesn't matter, UK, they're all a bunch of big old bags of shit. Now, I want you to honestly think about the impacts that this could potentially have. When it comes down to it, think about it, they're allowing this super elite to take back over Australia while keeping all of their citizens out of the country. Now, some might call me a conspiracy theorist for this, but it feels like they might be setting up a nice little colony for all of the elites to get away and escape and, hopefully die from a funnel web spider, but... when it comes down to it, they don't care about the average citizen. They don't. The United States doesn't care about the average citizen. The UK doesn't care about the average citizen. No one does. They all care about money, power, influence and all this other stuff. And naturally, when celebrities are in your borders, you get that kind of influence because guess what? You have all of these so-called important people with good opinions congregating in one place doing debauchery and all this other stuff, screwing little tykes and getting out there and, you know, getting drunk and having a good Christian time, I'm sure. But, I mean, Australia needs to pull its head straight out of its ass. Because if the government doesn't, I mean, shit, I don't know what people would do. I'd say they could leave, but I mean, that was the problem in the first place. They left and now they can't come home. It's like a drunk wife who fell in love with the mailman and now changed the locks on the house. It's quite ridiculous. This whole situation pisses me off beyond belief, man. I honestly can't believe that these people are doing this. And the reason I can't believe it is because I would try to hold on hope that there's going to be, you know, some human decency that gets regained through all this. But I can't really see how that's ever going to work. Because these governments aren't human. They're not even run by humans at this point. I feel like maybe we should start our own country with blackjack and hookers. Make our own entertainment industry with blackjack and hookers. Actually, now that I think about it, the fact that there's blackjack and hookers is probably the problem with the current entertainment industry. If Charlie Sheen's any indication to that. Well, I think that's enough from me for now. So, as always, I hope you guys have a wonderful day.
This has been News! If you enjoyed this content, please consider donating $5 to Sir TalksALot PayPal. Links are in the description.